Hi guys, what we're gonna be doing now, we're gonna be doing the loops, and it's actually not quite easy to explain. So what I'm gonna do is I just copied the code for the actual looping and controlling of the loops, and yeah, it's not gonna be easy to explain because I actually fully do not understand how it works yet. So I copied this from my previous program. So yeah, I'm gonna set in, I'm not calling it, yeah. Let me set some of these stuff, and then I'm gonna set of average of this. Yeah, let me first label this stuff. Graphics. Call this dimensions. Frames. Work frame counter. FPS. I don't know. FPS management or something. And then here I'm gonna say int max FPS and average FPS. Average FPS. Then boolean for running. If the game is running. I'm just gonna say if the game is running. So I'm just putting down comments to like help me like remember what each variable is for. It also might help you. So yeah. I'll go with boolean running. So in the start method we're gonna call run. Before we run, we're gonna say running equals to true. Running equals to true. That's basically determined to know if we're gonna be doing the game stuff. We're not gonna be playing the game. So yeah, if we're running, then we should be updating and playing the game and stuff. And set the init method. I want to initialize some stuff. So I'm gonna set max FPS should be, I don't know, 60 frames per second, and then average FPS equals to 0 for now. Equals to 0. So now let me try and explain this. So what this time per tick is basically how long should the system have to wait, or Java have to wait before it calls your code again. So the max FPS is basically how many frames per second. So yeah, if you wanted to do like 60 times per second, so 1 billion of these, this is 1 billion, right? So yeah, 1 billion nanoseconds equals to 1 second. And why do you use nanoseconds is because the internal clock inside your computer is working on nanoseconds, because the frequency is actually, because it can run, your computer can process stuff at speeds of over 5,000, 15,000 times per second. So yeah, so it would be inaccurate if you used 0.00001 seconds to denote that. So we just use nanoseconds. So nanotime is basically a unit of measurement for time. And yeah, so basically what happens is now equals to some nanotime. It does all the math, and then all this code is trying to do is trying to figure out if we should tick and render, or if we shouldn't. Now the delta and the text part is the text part is basically used to display the average FPS. So yeah, so basically we count the ticks in a second, and when the timer or when the time variable is bigger than 1 second, then we're going average FPS is going to be equal to ticks, because ticks is basically how many times we've processed, how many times we've called the what is it called? How many times we've called the update and the render method over here? How many times we've called the tick and the render method? So yes, and then that's going to be displayed, and then we're going to reset the ticks and the timer. So yeah, I hope I didn't confuse y'all, but yeah, so that was kind of confusing. So yeah, so what I want to do is to actually set max FPS and average FPS in the beginning here, because I do not want to be able to change that. I want it to stay constant, so I'm going to say equals to 60 right at the top, and the average FPS equals to 0 from the top, and then yeah. What the heck? Okay, yeah. Equals to 0, and then I'm going to check the average FPS. Is it displaying? So yeah, that's fine. So the average FPS is displaying. So now what I want to do is to make the game manager extend a thread, or make the game start on a new thread. So yes, because to separate why I'm doing this is to separate the user interface of the main thread to the game thread. Because later on we might want to add a menu, and then when we press this, when we press the start button on the menu, then we start a new thread to deal with the game. So yeah. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say we're going to extend the thread, extends thread. Thread basically allows you to multitask. Now the methods actually inherited from the thread class is the start method. So I'm going to do the add override thing, add override, and then I'm going to call super.start. Now when you say super, it means actually it's calling methods or variables from the class it's extending from. So the super.start method is not going to be calling this start method, however, it's going to be calling the super run method, the super start method. And so we don't need to have the run method in there. We're going to remove that, and then I'm going to override this method as well. And yeah. And then when we run now, there we go. Now what I did say today, we're gonna be dealing with motions and stuff. I'm gonna deal with motions of moving things around and stuff. So I have two methods here. I have the oh damn, wait first. Okay, so when we start a new thread, the thread doesn't close with the same thread when I press the what is it called? When I start a new thread, the thread doesn't close with the same user interface thread. When I do this, you can still see that it's still running. The application is still running. See, it's still running, but we just close the window. So since we want to exit the application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the main class, and I'm going to say primary dot set unclose request new lambda exception. Nah, damn, I don't want to do a lambda. I want new event handler, window event, and then I'm going to do this. And inside the handle method, I'm going to say platform dot exit, and then I'm also going to say system dot exit 0 dot exit 0. Now when I run this, then when I go and I press the X, it's gonna close and it's gonna say well, successful, whatever, and yeah, it's not gonna be javaFx not gonna be running. It's not gonna be appearing here anymore. So that's how you close a different thread. That's how you end a thread. So yeah, now we're gonna be dealing with moving. As I said in this video, we're gonna be dealing with moving stuff and making it appear as if they're animating. So yeah. So now I'm gonna add is what I'm gonna add. I'm gonna first of all set a color. You see it, set fill to, I don't know, any color, black maybe. Color dot black. And then we're just gonna draw an oval. You see the fill oval. I'll set 0 and then 0 and then let's give it a radius of 25 and 25. So with height. So yeah. And then I'll run this. This happened. It's not moving. Now, if we wanted it to move down, we want to be able to change the positions of the ball, because that's how moving works. You change the change of position in something. So to do that, we're not gonna be using a set or predetermined value. We're gonna use a variable instead. So I'm gonna say int y equals to 0. And then I'm going to set this to y. And then inside the tick method or the update method, let me just remove the average FPS. I'm going to say y plus plus. So by doing this, it's going to make the oval move downwards. It's moving downwards, but yeah, it's moving downwards. Now what's happening is we're not clearing the was there a thick line? It's because why is it thick line? It's because we're not clearing the canvas, so it keeps drawing over and over and over. What we want to do is just want to clear this before we start any drawing. You want to clear the thing. Clear. What is this? Yeah, clear. I'm gonna clear the canvas to 0, 0, and the width and height of the game. Then I'm gonna run it. As you can see, so yeah, it looks as if it's moving nicely and it's nice and smooth, and it's not. There's no thick lines or anything. Good. So we dealt with moving today. So yeah. So rule of thumb is whenever we're dealing with drawing stuff, we're gonna put it inside the render method, and whenever we're dealing with updating stuff, we're gonna put it inside the tick method. And whenever we're gonna be doing initializing stuff or creating stuff, we're gonna put it inside the init method. So yeah. And so yeah, guys. So if you like it, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps my channel. So guys, peace.